Hey guys, I'm Ethan, a New York-based organization development coach, and I'm proud to share with you a new playlist of videos, excuse me, where I look at different organizations that have either built amazing workplace cultures, really powerful pro-employee places to work, and I'm also shining a light on those organizations that are facing challenging circumstances to either build a new culture or to maintain the amazing brand reputation they've created from an amazing workplace culture. So I'm really excited to be bringing you today my case study on Zynga. And Zynga is a video game provider. And I want to start out by showing you the culture of the organization. It's got a great reputational brand. And one of the ways in which I have actually shared the story of Zynga as a Goldman Sachs 10,000 small businesses business program facilitator here in the New York region, where we've actually showcased Zynga to our entrepreneurs and business owners. So I'm going to play a brief video for you to get you in the spirit of Zynga, the gaming company.
We have a very special mission in our company, and that is to connect the world through games.
I don't really think that there's anything more authentic than connecting with someone over a game. That just excites me in gaming. And then being somebody that can help contribute to that, I just find that really exciting.
When I see my son playing CSR2, and when he wins, the smile, the happiness I see in him really drives me to make more and more awesome games.
Zynga's office is super cool. We have dogs in the office, which is probably my favorite perk. We also have awesome culinary staff and gyms. The floor plan is very open. It's very nice to not have any closed office space where we get to sit very closely with our team members.
Zynga is changing the gaming industry in many capacities. They're actually on the forefront. I mean, mobile gaming is the way that the industry is going. And the fact that the technology is getting so good that a lot of the gaming in mobile is actually just as good as console.
Having been in the industry for almost a decade, I've come to a conclusion that I actually work in an industry that's a mix of technology and entertainment. And that's how we are making a difference in the lives of the people.
Zynga does a lot of things to help people push their boundaries and just grow as professionals. They offer so many tools and learning options and workshops that people can go and use to improve themselves. I've actually never worked at a company that had so many tools and gave you enough time to actually use them.
For me, a culture like this is so important because I love learning. And so getting the opportunity to learn something new every day is absolutely incredible.
The people that we're recruiting to come into Zynga to really bring to life our mission of connecting the world through games, it really starts with them.
The people here are awesome. Every day I'm surprised by the passion and the intelligence of the people that I work with. They push me to work harder, but also to enjoy my job more. It's enjoyable to come to work, not just for what we're producing, but also for the people that I'm working with.
So one of the things that I'll draw your attention to is, and you hear the narrative thread being stated over and over again, understanding this is a marketing tool, a promotional video, but nonetheless, you hear about passion and people. And what you can see are the employees, relative youth, relatively new to the workforce, as well as seeing a diverse representation. So that's something that I wanted to share with you. So Zynga is an online gaming company, and they built a very strong reputation for the quality of their culture as well as the games. So if you kind of take a look at the overview of the company, it's a global leader in the interactive entertainment with a mission to connect the world through games. That's a pretty powerful mission. To date, more than 1 billion people have played Zynga's franchise games, including CSR Racing, Empires and Puzzles, Merge Dragon, Words with Friends, Zynga Poker, et cetera, et cetera. So you kind of hear all of these reputational brands over and over. They were founded in 2007, headquartered in San Francisco, but with obviously studios all over the world, including the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, India, Turkey, and Finland. So mission, connecting the world through game. It's developed a phenomenal reputation for being a desirable place to come work at. So Zynga aims to connect people through social gaming experience and is known for developing some of the world's most popular programs. Additional brands I had mentioned include Farmville and Hit It Rich. So I want to just kind of share with you some of the narratives. So, excuse me, you can kind of see the brand infused with people and culture and a great place to work. And so some of the things I want to point out is some of the different initiatives. Zynga is committed to the idea that games, as well as those who create and play them, can make the world a better place. That's why the company includes charity features in many of its applications. Since 2009, 2 years after they were founded, the organization has collected and distributed nearly 25 million to more than 50 nonprofits around the globe. So that's obviously one of their values. Another value, fun for everyone. A singular aspect of Zynga as a gaming company and an advantage compared to many other console games, their competitors, is the sheer responsibility, accessibility of the titles it creates. You're talking about the diversity and breadth of the user experience through the games they create as being a reflection of the diversity of the employee stakeholder population. Always energized with a culinary team that crafts gourmet meals all day and on-site cafes boasting the best coffee drinks. Employees are always fueled up. So again, some of the perks of being in a tech-driven industry, a tech startup, is you see some of these perks, whether it's Zynga or Google or early on at Microsoft. So you see these kinds of focus on employee services. So I wanted to draw your attention to that. But in addition, you can tell a lot about an organization in terms of the true meaningful diversity and inclusion and sense of belonging that the employee community has in the organization they work for. So I want to kind of walk you through diversity and inclusion at Zynga. Zynga is an equal opportunity employer. We're proud of our diverse community. We do not discriminate on the basis of race, sex, religion, color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, all of the applicable characteristics and qualities of a truly diverse and inclusive workplace. Further, there are Zynga communities that I wanted to point out. So you can call these ZERPs or Zynga employee resource, ZERGs employee resource groups, but things like Z-Care is a passionate group of volunteers looking to promote positive change in the community. So that's one group, one employee resource group. Another is WAZ, Women at Zynga, fosters an environment that empowers all women and marginalized genders, including trans women, non-binary people, to succeed and become leaders. Another employee resource group is called Bizu. Bizu fosters and engages a community at Zynga where employees of color and their allies can connect on the workplace experience. By building a network internally and externally, we provide a place for open and honest conversations. Another employee resource group is Z-Pride. Z-Pride fosters welcoming space for members of various communities. So I wanted to draw your attention to this, but there's some other aspects of Zynga that it's also important to share with you. When we're looking at an organization that has built an amazing workplace culture, has a great reputational brand. So Zynga levels up its global workplace strategy. So back when COVID was in full effect, Zynga was one of the first organizations, one of the first gaming companies to consider the shift to an alternate work arrangement for its employees. So I just want to play a little bit of a snippet of a video for you.
We're a video game company, so play and our players are at the core of everything that we do.
Founding mission of Zynga is to connect the world through games. The idea is that at its very core, a game is a social experience.
In 2021, with the world in flux and several global leases coming to expiration, nobody knew what the world was going to look like, but the status quo was not going to be an option. We really wanted to embrace what was great about working from home and what the office helps create from a collaboration and fun and inspiring perspective. With JLL as our partners, we embarked on a journey to establish our connected workplace, which is our hybrid work model that we've implemented globally.
Zynga was one of the first Bay Area tech companies to declare that hybrid working was here to stay for them. Zynga wanted to really think differently about how their employees were going to work and how that would impact their workplaces around the world.
Making video games that are fun to play, ironically, is really hard work. Our workplaces are always designed to be fun and inspiring, and also productive. We knew we needed an advisor to help us define what hybrid working for us would look like.
Change is never easy, so we devised a plan with Zynga that was truly them. Our first step was to help build the connected workplace model. It began.
So Zynga's struggling to figure out how to maintain a collaborative workplace environment, and unleash the full untapped potential of its workforce, and yet understanding the need to work collaboratively in teams, whether folks were in the same room at the same time or dispersed virtually, as a consideration of a more safe and healthy workplace environment in light of a global pandemic. So Zynga doesn't have the expertise itself, so it goes out and it subcontracts to an organization, JLL, that gives them advice and counsel on how to create a global community, a virtually connected, a powerful, globally connected workforce. These are the kinds of things that organizations do when they're driven by a singular focus on their employees. But yet, I guess the point that I want to make today is even an organization like Zynga, with a phenomenal reputational brand, a great reputation, has created a great workplace environment, compassionate, focused on employees. Even organizations with powerful cultures struggle. They just struggle through the natural ebb and flow of navigating turbulent times of chaos and uncertainty. And certainly Zynga is no stranger to that. So I want to kind of walk you through Zynga and the acquisition of, bear with me one second, just want to clear that out. So Zynga was acquired by Take-Two, a software development company. So Take-Two struggling with mobile post-Zynga acquisition. Despite wanting to be a big player in the mobile games industry, acquiring Zynga to achieve those dreams may have come too late for Take-Two. So I want to kind of shed some light. It's a little bit dated. This article is from December 2023. But Justin Carter, a reporter, kind of assesses the impact of Zynga's acquisition on a larger Take-Two software development company. So nearly 2 years, so going back to 2021, nearly 2 years after buying Zynga, Take-Two has yet to find a place for the mobile studio in its larger company plan. So Zynga, the digital gaming purchase that Take-Two made, they purchased Zynga because of an addressed need to provide online gaming, and yet Take-Two's struggling with the Zynga acquisition. So Take-Two's acquisition of mobile developer Zynga may be falling apart largely from forces outside of Take-Two's control. Bloomberg News report details how last year, 2022, $12.7 billion acquisition of Zynga was upended due to the fluctuating state of mobile games. So sometimes an organization can struggle, not because of internal decisions and operating efficiency and people considerations, because of external factors. And the gaming industry was not, as a whole, able to navigate through turbulent times. So an analyst at Cohen Group, Doug Kreutz, noted that the industry changed after Take-Two's acquisition of Zynga. The mobile industry spent the next 18 months, so from 2022 all the way through 2023, spent the next 18 months correcting. So, oops, was it bad timing by Take-Two? Was it a flaw in Zynga's business model? Let's dive a little bit deeper. Bloomberg acknowledged how Zynga changed its strategy following Apple's new policy. But bear with me a second, I want to kind of go back. The biggest change on Zynga's business model came from Apple's 2021 privacy features, which stopped app developers from using tracking, since marketers rely so much on that method of tracking people's online gaming behavior. The change made finding new players for Zynga particularly challenging. So Bloomberg acknowledged how Zynga changed its business model, its strategy, following Apple's new strategy back in 2021. Eric Kress, another analyst, was blunt in saying the developer Zynga wasn't ready for it and that Take-Two saved them. Okay, so you can still have an amazing workplace culture. You can still be focused on your employees, and yet business strategy decisions and how you respond to external forces in the market, they're also pretty important. So what's next for Zynga and Take-Two? Before the acquisition, Zynga was reportedly struggling and several titles hadn't found an audience. So again, struggling to meet marketplace consumer needs, wants, desires. Sales from its 5 highest growing games fell by 23% since middle of 2022 as part of a larger mobile industry decline. So, okay, Zynga's struggling, the industry's struggling. Makes sense. The next big release is Star Wars Hunters, which has been in development since 2018. So going on 6 years. That game, meant for both mobile and Nintendo Switch, is expected to be released in 2021. After not one, not two, but 3 delays. Let's kind of get to the heart of this. Take-Two acquired Zynga for mobile opportunities. It was what Zynga was built on and a relative weakness of Take-Two. CEO Strauss Zelnick admitted to being too slow on Take-Two's CEO. Bloomberg noted the publisher's plans to bring its franchises to mobile, but Hunters, the Star Wars Hunters game, repeated delays through that possibility into question. So there's struggles around the strategic decision-making going on at Take-Two and also at Zynga. So what I want to share with you then is the following lesson. Organizations work incredibly hard to build an amazing workplace culture. They work very hard to identify who top talent is. They work very hard to identify those people, bring them into the organization, develop them, give them meaningful work, create an environment, a workplace in which those individuals can thrive. But also the people side of the organization is one of 3 levers you pull. And we know this, right? You've heard me say this before. There's the strategy, which it sounds like Take-Two and Zynga are still working on together post-merger. There's the people side, which I've said and continue to say is the single most important consideration. And by creating a great place to work, Zynga set itself up for success, even as it struggles through post-merger, post-acquisition challenges and post-COVID challenges in the online gaming world. So that's the second piece, is people. So it's strategy 1, people 2, and then the third is operations. And again, you'll know, if you know me well, you know I say that all 3 are critically important, but yet your people are your only lasting competitive advantage. So what I suggest is, as we continue to take a look at Zynga in 2024, post-merger, look at the games they produced. How effective are those games at serving marketplace wants and needs and desires? How well received are their games? How much traction do their new online games build in the community? How much buzz, how much excitement? Because that's ultimately the determining factor, is the market's embrace or dismissal of what you have to offer, because that's the straight through connection going backwards from your customers back to the people in your organization and their ability to connect and build a bridge between the organization's culture and your people. So thanks so much for checking in, listening to this video. I hope you got some nuggets of information. As always, if you like the video, please like, share, go down below, click on that big subscribe button. I really appreciate the support that you're giving the channel as we grow. We just started doing this pretty intensively late last year, and we're on a mission to grow to 500 subscribers by the end of the second quarter. So please help us out. And give comments. If you like what you've heard, share some comments with me. Give me suggestions on other organizations you'd like us to shine a light on. But again, thank you for your time today. And if you have a few spare moments, go into another playlist on the YouTube channel. Check out the Chasing the Dream. We just wrapped up season 1, 17 episodes. I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm literally next week, March 21st, 2024, going to drop the first episode of season 2 of Chasing the Dream. Thank you.